And welcome back. Our next guest is the founder of the Biscayne Gardens Chamber and the founder of the Good Dads Act Committee, too. He joins us to share his story on fatherhood and how he fought to protect his rights as a father to his son. Please welcome to the show Dr. Bernard WH Jennings. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Yeah, we heard a whole lot about you and your story, but for our audience, we got to get you to explain it. Now, give us a little background, Dr. Jennings.
Well, a few years ago, I was unmarried. I'm married now, but I was unmarried at the time, and I have a son. His name is Ethan. And one day, he and his mother and I broke up, and we both took care of him on and off. I had weekends, and she had weekdays. And sometime in the summer of 2022, I decided I was going to marry somebody else, and all hell broke loose. She got upset at that and decided that she wasn't going to co-parent with me anymore, and she demanded, that I did not have time with my son. She held my son away for about a month. I couldn't find my son. I went to pick him up from school one day, and they said that he was withdrawn from school and moved away to another county. Then they didn't know where he was going to be taken.
Yeah.
I was devastated because I was so connected to my son. I was there since birth. I was able to get a hearing before a Miami-Dade County judge. I'm here in the state of Florida. And during that hearing, the judge said that, Mr. Jennings, you're on the birth certificate, but Florida law says that although you're on the birth certificate, you have a DNA test that shows that you're 99.9991 can't be excluded as the father.
You
don't have
are
any
the
right.
father. Yes.
You are the father, presumably, but the judge has to declare you the father through a process called establishment of paternity. And that's the same in all 50 states of the country. And it just means that you have a financial responsibility for the child. You actually come back after a full trial and then request visitation. If you don't have a good relationship with the mother and she doesn't want you to have visitation, there's a lot of obstacles they put up. They file domestic violence charges against you. It happens to many dads. That happened to me. I got off that Zoom call. I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. And then I decided to myself, you know what? I'm gonna write a proposal to the state legislature to change the law because this is not right. We did that. 8 months later, the law changed in the state of Florida. It's House Bill 775. It was coined Ethan's Good Dad Act. The legal name is Parental Responsibility After the Determination of Paternity. And it says that when a dad steps up and he's already on the birth certificate, he signed the acknowledgement of parenting in the hospital. That means him and the mother got along at some point. They had that baby. He now has the same rights and responsibilities the mother has as if he was married, although he's not. In other words, he has equal opportunity to be participatory in the religion, in education, in social upbringing of the child. And if he lives within 50 miles of that child, he's entitled to 50-50 visitation with a rebuttable presumption from the mother. Yeah. So he no longer has to prove that he's a good dad. She has to prove he's a bad dad. It's a higher burden of proof for her. And usually the case is he may not be a good boyfriend, but he's a good dad.
Yeah, that's great. So how does that make you feel that you came up with you had to go through all of this to come up with a bill?
Wow, I never
prove
thought
that you're a good father and you deserve the rights that everybody else deserves to see their child.
During the time, it was a lot of anguish in those 8 months fighting through the court system. I represented myself in court. 6 months after the law passed, the judge actually awarded me 50-50 time sharing with my son, and I've got him every Friday to Friday, every week, once Friday, and then switches to the mother. And it's been a pleasure. My son has improved in school now. He's in a gifted program in school. He's doing better in math. He's got better self-confidence. He's a good public speaker, and he's doing really good. And it just shows that, a father's participation in their child's life, whether it's a boy or girl, is going to make a big difference. Since that time, I've had meetings online with fathers all over the country every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Matter of fact, tomorrow night is our 100th meeting since the law passed. It's the Ethan's Good Dad Act Committee. We've appointed dads through 16 other states now. And since that time, I'm happy to report, Bob, that we've passed a law in Missouri, New Jersey, Tennessee, and North Carolina. They go into effect in July 1 of this year.
Yeah. How does that work now? Because sometimes Florida's laws are sort of complicated or a lot different from all the other states.
Yeah, so what it was, after the law passed in Florida, I created this group online through a Google Meet, and then through press releases, fathers have come to me with the same issues. I realized there's so many fathers throughout the country with the same problem. So I've appointed team leaders in different states. We take the same piece of legislation that we filed in the state of Florida. We add that father's name in that state, and we seek out their state representative and their state senator and ask them to sponsor the bill. And then we help them walk it through.
You had to tweak it just a little bit just to be in line with their state. Yeah.
Correct. And then some states now, it's sort of like a fever. They're doing it on their own. So you'll notice that in Kentucky and Iowa, they actually have an issue of putting it through. We have a dad in Arizona named Kasasi Swan. It failed the first year, but we're going to push it through and keep trying until we get it done. We're going to try to do all 50 states.
Now, Doctor, in all of these talks, does anything stand out to you that resembles a lot of the stuff that you have gone through?
It's a weird thing. If we had a hat and passed the hat around the room, it's the same story with a different dad under the hat.
Yeah.
Boy meets girl, they fall in love and they have a great relationship, and then they break up, and then they either have a baby during the relationship or they realize afterwards. And then, sometimes folks get bitter because they don't get what they want, and they say, okay, I'm going to hurt the dad, but they don't realize they're hurting the child more than they're hurting the dad by keeping them away from the dad.
Yeah.
And it's not right. I actually wrote a book about it called Ethan's Good Dad Act. It's #1 on Amazon in child advocacy and divorce and family law. You can get it on Amazon or Target.com or Walmart or anywhere good books are sold. It's a good book. It's been endorsed by Dr. Les Brown, as well as Brian Tracy, who are renowned public motivational speakers. And it tells the story of my story, as well as many of the other dads that have been part of this journey for the last year now. We've had these meetings every year, every month, every Tuesday online. We have these meetings where dads come together and give each other self-help. We'll bring different attorneys on. We'll bring different judges on or different practitioners to help the dads understand how to navigate the court system to maintain access to their children.
Yeah. And of course, you'll get some opposition from mothers, but you'll have a good deal of mothers who would like to join you because some of them are sharing some of that same experience.
Let me tell you, on this meeting that we usually have about 25 to 30 fathers on the program every Tuesday, but then we'll have some mothers, some sisters, some grandmothers, because when the child is separated from the dad, they miss out on the grandparent from the other side of the family, the sisters, the aunties, and they come to our program asking, how can we help our nephew? How can we help our grandson, rekindle with their child? And it's a very sad thing when it's happening. It's very frustrating. It almost feels like you have no hope. A lot of dads run around with PTSD because they're angry about what's going on. And we don't, as men, we don't talk about failed relationships or problems with our children. We talk about sports, we talk about making money, we talk about deals, but we don't talk about these personal things. Even in groups together, we talk about sports. We don't talk about this. So this gives an avenue for dads to come together and talk. Oftentimes we have about 40,000 people watching us live on Facebook, have these conversations and chiming in.
Yeah. So where would you like to see this go? I guess nationwide, right? And then some. Would you like to attach any addendums to the bill or what's going on with it now?
That too. We wanted to go nationwide. We're 5 states. In July, we'll be 5 states. We wanted to go all 50 states. I recently took a trip to South Africa through my relationship. I'm on the board of trustees of Florida Memorial University, which is the historical Black university in South Florida. And we took a trip to South Africa to create a program there. And we realized that fathers on the continent of Africa have the same issue in some parts of the continent, as well as in Europe. So we're hoping that this catches fire and people throughout the world understand that dads matter, that dads all over the world matter, that they should be participatory in their children's lives, especially the good dads that want to do so.
Yeah, I mean, there are dads that, are absent, and there are dads that want to step up to the plate and hit some home runs with their children. What advice would you give to a father looking to become more involved in their child's life?
I'd say you can go to our website, www.gooddadact.com. There's a bunch of resources on there which will help navigate the court system. We have a blog that we put up twice a month so that dads can read some information about how to connect with your child, how to relate with their significant other in an argument, how to navigate the court system, and how to understand what child support is and what your responsibilities are. We have resources. We have job opportunities on there, as well as training, so you can get certificates through Google that we have a partnership with so that you can, better yourself financially so you can take care of your family. And we want people to know that, sometimes when the folks get in an argument and they break up, the mothers sometimes, and maybe sometimes dads do it too, they go to the domestic violence court and file false allegations against the father because they know they'll get a one-up in family court, because domestic violence court is considered criminal, family court is family. The judges don't talk. So if you've got a proceeding in domestic violence court, the family court judge is not going to give you access to the child. And somehow attorneys are telling their clients to do this, and it stymies dads from being able to connect with their children. It's a very terrible thing. So we're going to pass some legislation in Florida called legislation to address false allegations of domestic violence and paternity fraud. You have a lot of dads that have been called the father when the mother knew he was not the father. I've had a dad that paid child support for 5 years, went to jail because he had a bad driver's license, came out of jail, had a hearing with the judge, and the judge took out the DNA test. He was not the father. The mother said she knew he wasn't the father, but she needed the money, and there's no retribution for her. It's not against the law to lie. It's not, she doesn't have to pay the money back, but this dad lost his job for 5 years of his life, and he wasn't even the father of the child. So that's a problem too.
Wow. Yeah. What's one of the major challenges that you have to face in dealing with something like this? Because it doesn't just happen like that. You have to go through the court system, and the court system can be very, very involved in the life of the whole situation.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem on the onset is the financial responsibility you have, because once you get caught up in the legal system, you got to have an attorney. If you can't have an attorney, you can do it yourself. I had an attorney in the beginning, but then I did my research. I represented myself pro se until trial. But a lot of dads can't do that. They might not be able to articulate it right. If you go to court and you're not dressed properly, if you look weird, or if you're showing too much anger on the situation, you're going to get judged by the judge, and they're going to restrict your time with the child. So the biggest thing is a financial responsibility, and then the girth within inside you, the notion that you can do this and don't give up. False evidence appearing real, the fear of what's going on that will cause you to not move forward. It's probably a lot easier to have another child with someone else than to fight for the child you already have. And some dads give up. But you can't give up on your kid, because one day they're going to come back 15, 20 years later, they're going to label you a deadbeat dad, and then you're going to have to defend what happened, and it's going to cause a lot of hurt.
Yeah, well, your child can't do that. Your child's going to say, my father's there every step of the way. I love my mother, I love my father, but thank you for all that you've done for me. Yeah. So it's in that book. Give us a quick synopsis of what the book is all about.
So the book tells a story that what happened to me in a more concise way, and then a lot of the other dads, we tell stories about the dads that first got involved a year ago with this, and it tells their stories, and it tells you how to navigate the court system, and tells you how to advocate for yourself in this situation, and gives you a little hope for moving forward in your life with your children. It's a good book. It's a short read. It's about 204 pages. It's got some great endorsements. It's #1 on Amazon, #1 in child advocacy, divorce, and family law. I'm proud of the book. I never wanted to write a book before, but after the court hearing and after I won custody with my son, I got the inspiration from God to put this in writing so that it could be memorialized and can help other dads. I vowed that what happened to me would help prevent it from happening to any other dads. This problem crosses all racial boundaries. Dads that are white, black, Hispanic, Chinese, short, tall, ugly, cute, handsome. We all have these same issues. Everybody in their family knows somebody, either an uncle or an aunt or a mother that has a son that's going through this.
Yeah. Well, we applaud you, Dad. We applaud you. Everybody in their studios clapping. Everybody at home's clapping. And there's some mothers who are in the same situation who need that type of help. So they'll be picking up that book, too.
Yeah, Ethan's Good Dad Act. There's a website, ethansgooddadact.com. Or if you want to join the committee, we're looking for dads in other states, Washington State, California, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota, Connecticut. If you're a dad and watching this program and you want to connect with your child and you're having a lot of problems, you feel like you're giving money to your attorney, they're not doing anything for you, go to our website, www.gooddadact.com, and we'll guide you. We have attorneys coming on live every Tuesday night to talk to dads, some other practitioners to come on and talk to dads to help them self-help themselves out of this issue so they can reconnect with their children. This is not against mothers. This is for dads to keep their families together.
Right. Tell Dr. Blassingame I said hello and thank you.
Yes, he's been a great advocate for this program too, and I really thank him for introducing us, Dr.
Yeah.
Lee. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, Dr. Bernard WH Jennings, author, Ethan's Good Dad Act. We appreciate you and thank you for all of that. All right,
Thank
and
you
we'll,
so much.
we'll see you soon. Sign that book and just send it over to us.
All right, I'll sign this one and send it over to you right away. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
No problem.
All right, talk to you again. All right.
All right.
All right, we'll take a quick break. I've got more. I got more open coming your way next. Stand by.